Have you seen Nicki Minaj losing her mind?
She's beefed with every female artist.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, her beef with Jay-Z is personal because there's money involved.
Police raids, secret deals, a billionaire empire under siege. Beyoncé's words ignite allegations that Jay-Z hid power, money, and silence behind closed doors, while Nicki Minaj explodes the truth. This isn't gossip. It's a chain reaction shaking music, politics, and the Carter's legacy right now. And the internet can't look away. The money, the betrayal, and the explosion. Now, before we even get into any of this, before we even scratch the surface of what is going on right now, I need every single one of you to understand something very, very important. This whole situation between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z, this whole thing that has the entire internet going absolutely crazy right now. This did not just pop up overnight. This did not just come out of nowhere. This is not some random Twitter beef that started because somebody said the wrong thing on a Tuesday afternoon. No, what we are looking at right now is something that has been brewing underneath the surface for years and years and years. We are talking about broken promises. We are talking about tens of millions of dollars. We are talking about power, control, influence, and the kind of betrayal that cuts so deep it changes the way you see an entire industry. And when I tell you that the lid finally blew off this thing, I mean it blew off in a way that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, saw coming. Not the fans, not the industry executives, not the bloggers, not even the people who thought they had inside information about what was really happening behind closed doors. So, I need you to sit tight and get comfortable because this story has more layers than a 7-tier wedding cake, and we are going to peel back every single one of them together. Let's start from the very beginning. Let's rewind the clock all the way back to around 2015. That was the year Jay-Z decided he was going to do something that had never been done before in the history of the music business. He had this grand, ambitious, almost revolutionary vision. He was going to build a music streaming platform that would be owned by the artists themselves. A platform where the people who actually create the music, the people who pour their hearts and souls into every lyric and every beat, would finally get paid what they truly deserved instead of getting pennies on the dollar from these big corporate streaming services. And the name of that platform was Tidal. Now, when Tidal launched, it wasn't just Jay-Z standing up there at that press conference by himself looking all serious. Oh, no. He brought out the biggest names in the entire music business to stand right there beside him. We're talking about Madonna. We're talking about Dave Punk. We're talking about Kanye West. We're talking about Beyoncé. We're talking about Nicki Minaj. All of these absolutely massive global superstars were standing shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, walking out together in front of the cameras like they were about to change the entire world and rewrite the rules of the music industry forever.
Speaking of disrespect, have you seen Nicki Minaj losing her mind?
She's beefed with every female artist.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, her beef with Jay-Z is personal because there's money involved.
Yeah.
So,
that's different.
And we haven't heard too many people talk about it, but apparently, like, what Nicki's alleged is that Jay-Z owes her tens of millions of dollars simply because when she had that exclusive deal with.
Now, I need you all to think about that for a second. Really think about it. Let it sink in. Every single one of those artists who stood up there on that stage and put their name, their face, their brand, and their entire reputation on the line for the title was supposedly promised a stake in the company. We are talking about roughly 3% ownership each. Now, 3% might not sound like a whole lot when you just say it out loud real quick like that. 3%? That's nothing, right? Wrong. That is dead wrong. Because when you start doing the math, when you start actually running those numbers and calculating what 3% of a company worth hundreds of millions of dollars actually looks like, you realize very quickly that we are talking about an absolutely massive, life-altering amount of money. We are talking about potentially $30 million or even more than that. That is not pocket change. That is not bonus money. That is generational dynasty building. Set your grandchildren up for life type of wealth. But here's where the whole beautiful dream starts to fall apart and crumble into dust. Title for all the hype and all the celebrity endorsements and all the fancy press conferences and all the big promises about changing the game did not take off the way everybody expected it to. The platform struggled to compete with Spotify and Apple Music. It couldn't gain the traction it needed. It flopped, and eventually, after all that effort and all those promises, Jay-Z sold it. But according to what Nicki Minaj has been alleging, when that sale finally went through, the artists who were promised their rightful piece of the pie, the artists who stood up there and put their credibility on the line, never got paid what they were owed. Nicki claims that Jay-Z owes her tens of millions of dollars, tens of millions. And when somebody owes you that kind of money, let me tell you something, that is not just a little disagreement you can talk out over dinner. That is not just a minor business dispute that gets settled with a handshake. That is personal. That is deeply, profoundly, fundamentally personal. And that is exactly why Nicki Minaj has been going so hard. And she did not keep quiet about it. Not even a little bit. She has been vocal. She has been loud. She has been aggressive. She has been relentless. And when Nicki Minaj decides she is going to go to war with somebody, she does not tiptoe around. She does not sugarcoat. She does not hold anything back. She went on a whole entire public rant where she listed out every single thing she believes Jay-Z has ruined. And the list, let me tell you, the list was long.
She said, "Dear #Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only." And she also is saying, she's mentioning Desiree, who is one of Jay-Z's.
You might as well say Jay-Z's the head of Doge. Jay-Z invaded Gaza. You might as well just come on, add some more to that, Nicki. Don't stop there.
Yeah, she says, there's a lot here, man.
Jay-Z's the reason for processed foods. Okay, he's the reason that there's artificial dyes in the candy. What else?
She went after everything. She blamed him for ruining hip-hop. She blamed him for ruining football. She blamed him for ruining basketball. She even blamed him for ruining social media. And she didn't stop there. She also went after the fact that Lil Wayne, who was born and raised in New Orleans and is a son of that city, should have been the performer at the Super Bowl when it was held in his own hometown. And since Jay-Z has his massive partnership with the NFL through Roc Nation, the entertainment and sports management company he built, Nicki put that blame squarely and directly on Jay-Z's shoulders. She felt like Jay-Z used his power, his connections, and his influence to block Lil Wayne from performing on one of the biggest stages in the entire world, in his own city, in front of his own people. That is the kind of accusation that doesn't just sting. That is the kind of accusation that burns. But here's the thing that really takes this whole situation and makes it 10 times, maybe even 100 times, more explosive than it already was. Nicki's beef with Jay-Z didn't just stay contained in the lane of money and broken business deals and unpaid royalties. Oh no, it spiraled outward into something much, much bigger. Something that would shake the entertainment world and the political world at the exact same time. Because right around the same time all of this title drama was boiling over, Nicki Minaj did something that absolutely nobody on this planet expected her to do. She made a hard, sharp, dramatic political turn that shocked the entire entertainment industry and split her legendary fan base right down the middle like a log getting hit with an axe. The MAGA turn that broke the internet. Now, if part 1 of this story was all about money and broken promises and business deals gone wrong, then part 2 is about something even more explosive and even more controversial. Because what Nicki Minaj did next just created little waves in the music industry. It didn't just make a few people raise their eyebrows. What she did created a full-blown Category 5 tsunami that reached all the way from the streets of Hollywood to the halls of Washington, D.C., and all the way back again. And absolutely nobody was prepared for the impact. Starting in late 2025, Nicki Minaj began publicly and unapologetically aligning herself with President Donald Trump. And this was not some casual mention in a magazine interview. This was not some offhand comment that got taken out of context. No, no, no. This was a full all-in, no-holds-barred, no-turning-back endorsement that left people's jaws on the floor. On December 21, 2025, she made a surprise appearance at Turning Point USA's annual America Fest convention, which is one of the biggest conservative gatherings in the entire country. She got up on that stage in front of thousands of conservatives and started talking about religious freedom and Christian beliefs and the importance of expressing your faith without being persecuted for it.